Okay. So this is the first time I've actually been around for the MSQ when the content drops. So this is gonna be fun. Oh, I need to move my keyboard. Cool. We're all good. I've remembered to do the thing. Sweet. Let's go. Also, I don't know if everyone notices these things like the second they log in. It might just be because I work with a lot of software all the time, so these kind of changes like stand out to me like metaphor, but simile. Sorry, but I noticed they changed the nameplate text, and I also noticed that they actually changed how they shaded the items in the little UI here. Like, I'm pretty sure they used to have, like, slightly darker backgrounds. You couldn't really notice it for the white ones, but you could definitely notice it for blue and red. A lot of, like, really small, nice touches in this patch. Which I suppose is, like, the best time to do it, honestly, because, like, when else are you going to get a chance to do it? Where the fuck am I going again? Probably into the Rising Stones, I presume. I think that's where we left off last time. I can't actually remember. It's been that long. And I didn't get Ray to the end of 5.4, so I actually don't remember position, like, location-wise where we ended off. Alrighty then. Unto the breach. Alizé is waiting patiently for you to for the return of certain scions, not least of all you. Good news, Aldine. Thancred and Noriange have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? Oh, I suppose I should probably... Yeah. There he is. Ah, welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more busy than more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Fucking Thancred. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was a little more than a spectator. Lion's share of credit must go to Alizé, Graha, and Aldine. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back. I can't help noticing that we're one Oriange short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, I can't lose him if I tried. And I did try. Repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Ralban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. Then mayhap he would do the same for us. Indeed, it was just as Lee said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the Illard, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps. Perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather, transform it. Transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare, According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yet as unnerving as said edifice is, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchange between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders, as if they were possessed, or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. Which is probably where someone like me comes in. If Van Daniel can bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Well, be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Raban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be wary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay behind and begin looking into another matter, as I promised Kryal. We need not all attend. I love how lots of people, like, jumped on the fact that, why is your Stola not at the meeting? And, like, my immediate thought was, well, I mean, we don't need all the Scions at every meeting. And I was way more on the ball than I had any right being. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before the meeting. Do you want me to be liberal with the banhammer for potential spoilers? Okay, so this is the thing I want to. Oh, hey, Haunted. Thanks for the fucking words. Jesus Christ. Thank you for the host and happy birthday again. If someone says a spoiler, at least time them out. If they keep doing it, then it can be more permanent. Yeah, like, at the very least, like, 1 second ban just to flush chat. And, like, if someone's just kind of trying to guide my, like, speculation, like, I'll probably just give them a verbal, look, please don't do that. If they try and literally say something that's gonna happen, 1 second ban, at least. And if they keep doing it, then they can scream into the void. Ugh, I gotta set out my, like, favored areas a bit more smartly. I mean, specifically the kind of thing you got during Amaron. Oh yeah, no, that is immediate, like, at least a 1 second ban. Or hell, like, if it's the first thing that person says and it's a spoiler, that's at least, like, a minute, because they're probably going to try and do it again if they get banned. If they get a reaction immediately. But yeah, like, I want to give people a chance if they do it, like, kind of, like, accidentally after a few messages. Like, just, hey, let's not. I'm going to flush it just to be sure, but, like, yeah, we want to keep it thing. But if someone's clearly being, like, antagonistic with them, fuck them. They can fuck off. Oh. I saw pictures of this yesterday. I actually couldn't tell who was in the crowd either, which was funny. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travels in our absence. Heartened am I to see you hale and whole. As are we to see you safely return from your mission, Urianger. Trust Thancred made you feel welcome? Well, if it isn't Alphino and his merry band. Huh? Oh, hey. Long time no see. Arenvald, whatever are you doing here? When we last spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. And is to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you, looking so similar. Well, you would have grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Yeah, gotta love Patch Day. I don't think that's how that works. Like, because they were just their souls in the first, so, like, it's not really how that would work, I don't think. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body is hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elizon are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words, the day will come when even a great Aurochs, such as yourself, will crane your neck to meet my eye. Aye, it was not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Breeder towered over me nonetheless. Ironwell brings out the best in Alphinaud, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing. So, what exactly brings you here? Oh, for Dola, mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Ordolo is going with him, that must mean... I mean, yeah, they're two people with the Echo. Like, if you're sending a strike team of two people with the Echo... I mean, to be fair, I think they've at least been... I think it's at least been shown that they're, like, remarkable warriors outside of us, for example. Outside of us specifically, though. So, like, it doesn't seem that off base, but I guess the thing is that, like, if you're sending only the two of them, that would suggest more that there's a worry that there's someone's going to get tempered, because, like, you could probably put, like, a small group of soldiers under Arenvold's command, and he'd probably do well. Unless you account for the fact that they'd all be Alamegan and they'd be traveling with $4, which very much could be off-putting for people. Oh, actually, I forgot to change my description text. And yes, they are indeed the B team. The B team of people with the Echo. As Arenvold rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. There it is.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. It is no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
You talking about, Nanamar? This is the only person I think that could apply to. Also, hi, Baby Smell. How are you going?
Theatrix. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Telophoroid's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Oh, that was really stupid. I don't know how I missed that.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy.
Sorry, that was really embarrassing. Oh
It was
dear.
with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Uh-oh.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Oh, okay. So, like, we've actually... Have you enjoyed Shadowbringers? I've enjoyed it a lot. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite gaming stories of all time. It's definitely up there. I think part of that is definitely because I didn't think an MMO story would get me like that. So, it might come down a little bit with time, but at the moment... It's fantastic. It's great. I think it's like one of the prime examples of telling a story within this kind of medium with a game that like could essentially live forever. It's like actually having planned arcs and whatnot, whereas most don't. For the most part, best game, 10 out of 10. And we are at the point where
They were tempered.
okay, so confirmation that that something akin to tempering happened to them, because what the Porksies do could apply to more than simply just, like, primal tempering. Like, pretty much any shift in, ether, like we saw on the first, could be reversed by this, so, like... That's probably just a minor little difference, but yeah. Anyway, so that's the thing. But also, we are in a time now where the Porksies have been mass-produced enough that they can be used like this. I wasn't actually sure whether this was going to happen like immediately after the patch where we found that out, but it turns out it does. Like, we're just there now, which is interesting.
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered.
Which would be Bahamut. Which would mean that they were tempered by Bahamut. So why... So... Why focus on Garlemald, then? Huh.
But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked.
Thank you, Lise.
Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Mm-hmm.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers.
I wonder if that's just exclusive to the untempered beast tribes. Or the untempered members.
Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos,
It seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
Oh, unless you're talking about Arenvold and Fordola. Oh, shit.
What?
Alright.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
Okay, first off, yay, Graha gets to sit at the big table with everyone else. So, like, I haven't given it thought for a while, just because my thoughts have been far away from it for ages. But, oh Christ, I'm wondering if... Okay, so what we do know is that typically, a primal that tempers someone tempers them to themselves. So Ifrit tempers a person, that person will worship Ifrit. I was really trying to think of not Garuda or Titan, but they're the only ones that thought. If Leviathan tempers someone, they're tempered to Leviathan. They will praise Leviathan. But in this situation, we have something that looks like Bahamut tempering people to Garlemald. Which makes me think that something deeply associated with Garlemald has been summoned, maybe? And that things like Bahamut, or Bahamut, I guess, specifically, is... how do I put this? Like, the fact that the Bahamut, like, the existence of Lunar Bahamut, I think was its name, was like an offshoot of the core thing that's been, like, summoned and is tempering people. Thus, when Lunar Bahamut tempers people, it tempers things to what it is part of, which it is part of Garlemald. which evokes images of both one of the things we saw of Endwalker, or two things we saw of Endwalker. There's the big giant thing in the middle of Garlemald, while the rest of it is a fucking destroyed wreck. And the dungeon that looks like it was a void scent thing, because it has, like, similar color motifs. But that's kind of like grasping at straws. Like, at the very least, either that is not Bahamut, and he's just named it that, or Bahamut is actually part of a grander thing that is Garlemald, is referred to as Garlemald. I mean, hell, for all we know, they could have, like, summoned the will of Garlemald. Or, like, tempered someone in such a way that they worship Garlemald as if it were a primal, which could give it the form of a primal. Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore. I also forgot how loud it is when people are crowded around. Alright, what's up?
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamolver and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fordola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Eldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat.
I mean, kinda did.
From out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
It's all good news, girl. You don't need to apologize.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
Audible worry.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
I would presume the one near here.
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded.
Oh.
It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Oh no.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, To be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh? It means a lot, you know. You coming with me?
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming.
That's really good camel work.
I realise I
God damn
can't
it.
hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light or Alphino, for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru! I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian. And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut.
Oh.
But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others. I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
So are Graha and Alizé going to come with us then, or...? No! I'm losing him! There he is. Alphino was keen to track down Estinian. So Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there is no time to lose. This is going to be a shot in the wallet. No. Oops. I forgot to pause the mod view. Whoops. All present? Good. Let us split up and search for Estinian. Since we're relatively new to this place, Graha and I will look around the open spaces, squares and markets and whatnot. You and Aldine can delve into the nooks and crannies. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship landing later, with or without Estinian. Good luck. I should begin at the Sky Seal Manufactory. So perhaps you could try the congregation? Lucia may well have heard news of our friend's return. So many pilots. Oh god, are you really having that busy a night? Figure of night. Does during the week tend to be busy, or like, is this a... That should be the last of them. Well, fingers crossed. Baby summoner. I stand on the table. Good evening to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit? Where's the Dragoon boy? I see. No, we were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich only to find him absent? In any event, I am afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. Wow, this is like the first time we specifically have not ended up finding the person we were looking for. Or the first time in a while, at least. I think the airship landing was near the Astrolode. Athenaeum Astrologicum. I think I said that correctly. That fucking Dante. Oh. Oh, sorry, maybe it's a young Sid. My bad.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
Well, we know he was kind of unannounced, so... Oh. Speak of the devil.
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Aww. Oh.
Too long?
Oh no, Estinian!
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. You see, Alphino.
Estinian, no! Oh,
Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side.
Graha, do not continue this sentence, buddy. We don't need two people.
To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Oh my god, he's too cute. Stop it.
Someone mind explaining?
Estinian's like, what the fuck did I just walk into?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
Apparently. Are you all good?
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
Aww.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
Fucking yikes, Alphino. Perhaps he sees them as the brothers he never had. I think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them. Well, you can't keep him all to yourself forever. No.
I wouldn't be so sure. He still loves nothing better than the sound of his own voice.
Maybe just not as much.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azisla.
Azisla? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Oh, shit.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azisla, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation?
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azisla together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again, and I'll throw you overboard. Ugh! I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
Of course he isn't, because Alphino was painting the image. Metaphorically.
I admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt?
Man, Graha is such an interesting character to have walking around here now, because he's like, he has like a future reference point, but has like literally nothing in between it. He only has like retellings of everything. It's so interesting. If only for just like little character things like that, like, oh wow, that person is really not like they were written. It's been quite some time since I set foot in Azisla, but I understand the three of you were the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet Tiamat during your visit. No, we didn't. Alas, not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Aldine is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. That's true. Let's just say that it helped that Midgard Solna was there to introduce me. Ah, yes, you're a friend of her father. I too have met Tiamat. Really? After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she had yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was my hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. but the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidhogg is part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Huh. That is not what I expected to hear as the reason. I really appreciate that Estinian has changed so much, though. Like, he's still, like, obviously surface level, like, blunt and whatnot, but he's not, like, he's not just blindly out for vengeance, and he does have, like, a sense of duty, even to those he previously fought against. It's compelling. Estinian is ready to lead the way to Tiamat. Tiamat awaits. This way. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me 1 second. Actually, what are the mount? I still don't have any mount. I really gotta, like, go mount hunting at some point. Even for just some really, like, easy ones to acquire, because I have nothing but, like, Yol and that right now. What? What's going on? Oh. No. 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 Motherfuckers. There we go. God. It's like trying to point a fucking laser at a needle in a haystack with your teeth. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
So, someone else summoned your husband. Or your broodmate, I guess. Ah. That my sins should be repeated. I sense not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children. Mericidia. The Icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Allagan's dark designs.
Much like those held here in Asisla. If dragons who worship Bahamut are required to summon him, that must mean...
Yes. The dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Accursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved and strip our children of their freedom. Sorry, I wanted to stop there. Sorry, I wanted to stop there because that was like the most emotion we've heard out of Tiamat in this entire game. And strip our children of their freedom, their dignity? Are there no depths to which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What wouldst thou have of me, Slayer of Dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm.
Oh fuck, are we really doing this?
We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
Were I free, I would answer thine indolence with fire, but words will have to suffice. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul.
Jesus Christ. So, that was never a thing we understood, whether, like, it was, like, fragmented. Well, okay. We, at the very least, knew that, like, fully rejoined Ascians could be influenced. And I guess it just... There's probably a question of whether that would happen against, like, much smaller summonings compared to Zodiac or Hydaelyn. But what... Nothing... Something that never occurred to me was, like, what if, like, a really powerful being... well, I guess if Bahamut... Or if Tiamat herself summoned something, there's a possibility... There's a chance that that thing just has the power to temper her.
But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb. We're really setting this up like Tiamat's going to be a boss later on. Unless...
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Oh, what just happened? Chat just, like, bugged out. I didn't drop any frames, so I hope nothing happened, but... Speakest thou in earnest?
There
Holy
is no
fuck.
future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner. Not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Chance to make amends. To lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Heidelin, and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. Hell yeah. Alright, now we just need to untemper Tiamat. While Porxies have shown to be effective in curing the temper, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger, and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? I didn't notice anything. How hard could it possibly be? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Allagans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphino and Aldine here well enough, but not you. You certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in the prison of despair. I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. Ah yes, we are familiar with it. The Aetherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel, containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambrose, Urianger, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference of not only memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test how theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Agreed. We will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. It would have been really funny, like, patch day to see, like lines of people, like, flying up here and back. One of these days I'm gonna stream, like, when patch drops. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state, Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we shall reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Why are there just 2 mana pierces? You should be fun on launch. That's true. Maybe I'll take some time off for that. If I even have any time off by that point. Molodorus node. Bzz. Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Oh, well. This is not that one. Excuse me? Obstreperous node. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advise deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. I wonder if it's this one. Clamorous node. Warning. Scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in minus 2,020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. Well, there it is. I'll be out of the military and in school when it drops. Nice. Like, it's supposed to be spring here, so it's like September, October, November. That's getting to the point that I really can't afford to take off time, but I guess it depends on how much time I take off the rest of the year. I'm afraid Justine and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? I did. A node which smelled like burnt hair. Yes, a chirruping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. I found a way to activate mechanical sentries, if that's any help. Also, I see those circles. Honestly, really nice for big bosses, and also for bosses that have like the complete circle. Wouldn't be surprised if it's September. Pre-COVID, all the X-Packs came out in late June to mid-July. Yeah, fair. But they did say like actually, I can't remember what they said. I figured it ended up lining up with spring, so it was like September, October, but yeah. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. They say it is indeed the node of which Graha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Very well, I'll just take a closer look. Not used to hearing September and October referred to as spring, love my ass off. Now, welcome to the Southern Hemisphere. all our seasons are backwards. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Bleep, bleep. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps? Oh, I haven't. Wait, why did you move? One never knows when a small portion of royal Allagan blood might come in handy, which is why Grahatia keeps the vessel about his person. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. I'm not going to say either of their names. That's rude. Welcome, Aldine Felspar. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. Oh no, and the servers are down! Oh god. The digital future is coming. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? I don't fucking know. I could hazard a guess. Well, that's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. And everyone in the vicinity's brain explodes, because that doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, maybe just Justinians. So can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without. I don't know any of this technology shit. Why the fuck did you two bring me here? Customer service node. Ugh. For vengeance. The restrainment node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Oh, is it really? Fine. Ah. Oh my god. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I say, ask which version you are employing? Software version 42.002, of course. Warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years and 1 day. Yeah, that's about right. That is rather longer than we were hoping for. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. Sweats in software engineer. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. So I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? Enemy or no, I want to understand him. I will try, yes. And if that fails, I'll remember him. Fuck. Certainly, after I've wiped the smile off his face. Like, I feel like that's meant to be... I'm here to wait for Nia. Might be waiting a little bit. I don't know how many missions there are in this, but that's going to be the thing I go for next. Enemy or no, I want to... So, this is actually, like, this is obviously evoking 5.0, but this is also a little sinister. It's just like, and if that fails, I will remember him. It's like, oh, just, yep, okay, cool, yep, no, death. Enemy or no, I want to understand him. But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? If he wishes to die, I say we oblige him. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. Only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as weakness, to be exploited. And there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Okay, BRB got a bump flight times with Ops. Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, he did say he only wants us to die. I don't think there's much common ground with that. Well, he wants to die too, and that's common ground. We want to kill him. He wants to die. It's not much common ground, but... Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Yeah, like, even with Fandaniel, we find common ground. Or we can. Slim common ground too, but common ground nonetheless. That reminds me, I've got to come back here to grind the Heavensward weapon at some point. I think I started it with my warrior. But it looked like it was going to take a fairly long time, which I guess is just the weapons in general, but... Oh, dear Christ. There we go. Someone help. Too much triad. Yeah, I haven't dived into that too much yet. Stydian told me all as well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Yeah, he's operating a thing that should release Tiamat. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirmed that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the Umbral, as was the case with the Kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning, I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. And I want the mount. There's a rumor floating around about a mount becoming available as a reward for getting all the cards, and I want the mount. No, yeah, fair enough. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely, that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than suffered by the Kobolds. Yeah, like, I guess there would be some logic to, okay, there is a being that is trying to temple two other beings. One that has very little ether and one that has a lot. I would presume that you would get a milder tempering on the being that has a lot more ether than the one that has little. So it would probably work better on, like, people like the Kobolds and pretty much everyone of the source, but may not have as good effect on someone like Tiamat, because they are far more powerful. They compose more ether. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Oh, yeah, because there also is that perspective thing about it. Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alvino to disengage the restraints the ethereal dampers. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Welcome back. And here we go, crossing our fingers. Ah, such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten. Of war with the men of Alag. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Aldine, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Tell me of the war with the men of Alag. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Alag first came into Mericidia unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land, come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Sharlayan scholar Rusha. She posits that man first visited on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. Only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angela. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind, and as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing even more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet their territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife. Till one day, they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony, too, were fated to end. For the men of Alag slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Keep watch from above? Ugh, thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear when this is over. Keep going, Alcé. The magic is working. Why are we not switching? We're just gonna fucking burden Alcé even more? What the fuck? I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Oh. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say you may take as much as you require. Careful. I might hold you to that. Alright. Here I go. It's not really up from above, Estinian, but... I love triple triad. Oh.
No. I'm almost there.
Trade the girl for a dragon. Height is irrelevant for a dragoon. Yeah, that's fair. Have you seen that man jump? They samurai jack jump high. Listen, he said from above. That is not above. I understand he can get to above. I was expecting him to be on, like, the fucking, huge, like, rock overhangs that kind, or rock spires that kind of, crystal, maybe? That kind of encircled Tiamat, to be honest. So he could just, like, drop down immediately. I don't know. I was just expecting him to be higher. Yeah. Why are you looking shocked? We agreed to this.
This is it, Angelo.
Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
To be fair, he probably needs to be in earshot. Answer me this, child of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearketh unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Wait. I mean, we can untemper the ones that are tempered to Bahamut, no? But better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know. And I shall do as I must. When you're growing tentacles out of your face a bit too far gone. Yeah, that's fair.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Justinian, no, don't look at it. It's like a flashbang. My beloved. For vengeance and atonement, I rise. Talking to a man who grew up in a snow-covered landscape, dude's used to brightness. You know what? That's fair. Actually, I don't know then if he should have the sense to do that or if he's just grown an immunity. I don't know which is more believable.
By the gods!
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
Oh, good. He didn't, though. Ishgard was green until Dalamul fell.
At the head of a vast host, including dragons.
That's true. It's only been a snow-capped thing for like 5 years or something, right? Yeah, no, he would not have grown up in that. That makes sense. So, hi, Runway, how's it going? Also, I don't think I said hi to Ryuzaki. I'm so sorry. Hello. I hope you're all having a good night. I mean, even still, 5 guaranteed years of an undetermined amount of time would make him used to it. Yeah.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Oh my god, we're gonna do this now? Hell yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fucking wild. Well, I'm sure you're desperate to join Justinian and Tiamat in battle. It would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Whomst. Oh, there we go. Flames of War. With Luna Bahamut bound for Pagalthan, Grahatir is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. I've been approved to go home. Congrats. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Uldar at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphanode and be on our way. Oh shit, we're here. Nice. I appreciate that. Now, I know some of you could do with the rest, but I'm sorry to say that Telophoroi have other plans. Pagalthan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarapin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It is good to hear that Uldar has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Tarapin, I presume. Oh, no, Nanamo, of course. Took 6 years, but we closed that plot thread with Tiamat. Yeah. I had been wondering if Tiamat was going to come back into the picture. And like my thoughts when I saw Luna Bahamut was not that it would come down to that, but damn, I honestly should have. Your Grace. Marshal Terrapin had made provisions for such an exigency? I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. No Google, damn it. Exigency.
Exigency.
Exigency, an urgent need or demand. Exigency, and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the arrangement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favour of intervention. Thankfully. Nor is Uldar alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagelthan. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Luna Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Luna Bahamut, none of the Amalja show any signs of tempering. Strange. A Primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls, to lull you into a false sense of security. If they're really bound to Fandaniel, they may not actually do it unless... I don't think we've seen this man since level 52 Paladin Quest. You do see him, I want to say just before the end of ARR? Actually, no, I might be thinking of something that happened in the Uldar starter quest. Anyway, it definitely has been a fair while, and he hasn't shown up in Stormblood or Shadowbringers. Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not one to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Luna Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we've previously encountered. Thank you, Y'shtola. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Aldine and others like him wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. That doesn't... Be that as may, Luna Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better. Assuming, that is, you are ready to take the field. That's how you know it's serious. Yeah. All the warriors are back. An airship awaits you. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. Hell yeah. I, meanwhile, should continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. It's kind of her to speak with us personally. May be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as Her Grace requests. Lest we forget, our involvement for Dola and Plagelthan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship, then. Right, the airship. It's probably just because of how tall my character is, but it really feels like sprint doesn't do as much if when I'm playing them, as opposed to like with my Lalafell or our lanky ass motherfucker can't run. Actually, Garuda. Greetings, we've been expecting you. But say the word, we shall depart for Plagelthan at once. Yeah, there it is. Alright. So this is probably going to be instantly pop, so I'm going to... Oh, right. Can I do small talk still? Yeah. I don't know what designs the Telophoroi have on Plagelthan, but I do know they must be stopped for the good of the Amalja and us all. Whether he's here or not, we can be sure Fandaniel is behind this attack, and that makes me doubly determined to see that it fails. By dealing with Luna Bahamut and his hordes, so too will we render aid to Arenvald and Fordola. Come, let us go. How are you feeling, Graha? Grasslands of Pagelthan will make for an open battlefield. Many though our enemy are, we will not have to fight against the terrain at least. Like most who have spent time in Uldar, I haven't always seen eye to eye with the Amalja, but today I will fight side by side with them in common cause, and hope that none of them remember me. At the cost of his own life did Master Louis Soir strike down the primal Bahamut. Whatever the true nature of this new incarnation, it cannot be suffered to threaten this star. Alright. Time to go then. Not Stormblood. Pagelthan. Long have the sweeping plains of Pagelthan been home to the nomadic Amalja, though the herding of livestock keeps them constantly on the move. The permanent settlement of Zolmark forms the seat of power and the center of their society. It is there the Telophoroi would wreak destruction, dispatching a vast host comprised of both Imperial soldiers and tempered dragons, with Luna Bahamut at its head. Yet even against these heretofore unimagined foes, the Amalja stand strong, with Astinian, the recently freed Tiamat, and the Eorzean Alliance at their side and eager to turn the tide. Now, I'd hope queuing up for this doesn't take long, but on the off chance that it does, I'm going to quickly see if I can at least acquire a quest to start the Nier stuff. Which would be in Calusia. Q should be really quick. Well, hasn't popped yet. Actually, I'm probably hitting the bit where there's like actually a disproportionate amount of DPS applying. Sometimes you get weird things where like even DPS have short queues sometimes because like people are leveling ults and stuff, and those tend to be like less, or those tend to have a lot more variety leaning towards healers and tanks. No, you stay there. Thank you. Son of a... God damn it! Oh, I can't believe... Oh, fuck. I thought I... Oh, no, I didn't uninstall you. Right. Sorry, something's trying to update. There might be a little hitch before it, disappears. So close. That music, though. Hell yeah. Oh, are we going, or... Yep, we're going. Let's go. Was there a little dubstep wub just there? Sorry, I'm being too strong, aren't I? Are those kobolds? Huh. All the warriors. Like, literally all the warriors. Sin tether the AoEs on the next boss to the lampposts. Tether the AoEs on the next boss to the lampposts, okay. No, don't fucking... Motherfucker! Oh, I see. Right. I get it. Oof. Nice. Nothing I could equip. Rip.
What took you so long? The Amalj are in trouble. Let's split up.
What? Oh my god, what are you doing, buddy? Please don't. What? Scholar? Please no. No.
Oh, no, you don't.
Nice. Probably a mistake to use Bahamut here, but fuck it. I guess I did get both worm waves off, so that's fine. Just means I'm in a little bit of cooldown debt coming up to this boss. Oh. Whoop. Wait, what? Why am I... Oh, there we go. Fucking god. That looks bad. Oh no, this is an ad boss. Oh shit, that's a thing too. Oh fuck it, I'll take that one. Oh. Oh. Hmm? Oh, they're slowly moving. Fuck. That was dumb. Oh my god, please. Oh shit. Oh, we're going. No? What? Okay. I don't know why we just sped up for no reason, but... Oh god, that's gonna make the second wave so late. Or Archmorn, rather. Oh, fuck. God damn it. And I thought Bahamut blocked my way too much. Oh. There's the... Okay. So are we fighting Bahamut, or... Yep. Telotherium. Let's go, Estinian. Okay, leaving work for real now. Gonna be gone for like 5 minutes-ish until I get back to my room. Well, I hope you don't miss this. Let's fucking go. Wait, what? I thought that was a you have to absorb that one. Oh well. You fucker. What? Oh. Now there's a fucking mechanic. Pick the safe spot before it's there. Ooh. He's just jealous because I summoned another Bahamut. I'm wasting fucking further ruin. God damn it. Honestly, if there's one thing I hope the next expansion does, it's make further ruin a part of the UI and not just a buff. Like, Aether points are a buff. Aether flow is a buff, but it's also, like, part of the UI. Oh my god. I'm gonna be in Bahamut face when we kill it. Uh-huh. Oh no, that's the wrong spot. Oh fuck. No, I gotta stay here. Damn it. Look badass beating Luna Bahamut and then I get fucking hit by that. You get a third summon phase and you'll like it. I probably will. Honestly, Dreadworm... There's no reason to say Dreadworm Trance. It's... The fuck was that? Why was there a first one? What just... What? Yeah, safe journey. Single piece of loot. Like, at the moment, you use, like, from my understanding, you use Dreadworm Trance to adjust to make sure everything's lined up. But the fact that you don't stay in it the whole time is kind of unintuitive. You want a piece of loot at that time. Oh, what the fuck did I... Oh. Whatever. Nothing I want. I guess I didn't roll on it and no one else wanted it. Hell yeah. Fuck you, Luna Bahamut. Oh, it's the song too. Children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall forever be in your debt. By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain, as long as I draw breath. Never again shall the dragons of Mericidia hearken to the lies of the Asians. This I vow. Calling it third summon phase to summon Shinryu. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna... To step back for a second, I actually don't know what direction they're gonna go with that. Because they've got Bahamut, who tends to be aligned with the Umbral. You've got Phoenix, who I would presume is probably more aligned with the Astral. Or intentioned to be more aligned with the Astral. It should be, but... So I don't know how they're going to split the difference there. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a pretty big rework. I don't know. It feels, like, really good right now. I feel like it just needs, like, it needs slight adjustments, but the last time I thought this was about destruction, and then it got, like, the stupidest fucking set of changes I've ever seen, so I should probably steel myself for the worst, honestly.
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well.
At the very least, Summoner needs to be hit with a nerf bat. It shouldn't be outperforming Black Mage. I didn't think it was. Scholar is due for one and they share DNA, so some things will have to change to accommodate. I don't agree. I think the things that were going to change in, or they mentioned they were going to change in Scholar is... Oh no, sorry, that was Astrologian. But I don't think that necessarily hits the fundamentals. Like, from my understanding going into Shadowbringers, they made changes to the jobs, not the class, if that makes sense. Obviously they do share DNA, but it diverges pretty quickly. If you look at the tool sets that Scholar and Summoner have, not only are they like not only are the vast majority of the things it does not related to or not built on not the exact same set of skills, but some of those skills are even modified. Like, I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. Obviously, I can't talk about performance. I don't fucking... Like, generally speaking, yeah, BLM should probably be at the top of the charts, because that spec is punishing as fuck to play. It kind of needs to be balanced in a way that it is the best, because otherwise no one would play it. So if that is the case, then yeah, I guess I understand that.
Long have our peoples waged war, but no more.
Hell yeah.
Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice.
You'd make peace with Ul'dah. You'd be proud to call you our allies, then let us put the past behind us. We'd be proud to call you our allies.
The enemy enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Garleans who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
It would certainly seem that way. The
There it
Sultana
is.
will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
I was waiting for that bit to kick in. I was like, is this the song? Yeah, where's $4 and Arenvald? That doesn't look good.
What in Ralga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
I don't think that's a good idea. God damn it, Arenvald.
No! What have I done?
It's too late for them. We're leaving, now.
Yep, time to book it. Something happened. Oh. Oh!
No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together.
Well, I guess that answers a few questions. Ooh. Okay. So... are they even primals? Oh, fuck. I have... There's a lot to unpack there. Yeah, there is a lot to unpack there. So... we can infer by putting people in the tower that summoned a primal in the past that they... that... I wonder if they're taking the Tempered... I wonder if they're taking the Tempered and trying to summon the primal they're tempered to, or making like a lunar copy of them. Should have interrupted that dude, he was vibing. Yeah, you made them all angry and they all... summoned Ifrit. Well, it'd be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel. We have dealt his schemes telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. And celebrate I will, when we have received more of Arenvald's safe return. Or word of Arenvald's safe return. I want crit. Yep. Trust, sure. When the dust settles, Alfino is minded to share his account of the events that unfolded in Pagelthan with the Sultana. Free crit 8s, yeah. It's free extra stats. Standing around here is not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave scions. Uh-oh. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the frontistery. Your grace, what is ever the matter? As our troops withdrew from Pagelthan, they came upon the 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend I believe, had been wounded, and was being dragged away by the other. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, your grace. Can you tell us aught of Arenvold's condition, your grace? The wounded scout? How do you know that? Oh, your friend, I believe. Arenvold. Yep, okay, that tracks. That's how he knew. I don't think I actually read Nanamo's line there. Not save that it is grave. The chirurgeons tend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Aldine, Asinian, would you mind going after Alfino? He may need some support from someone other than me. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pagelthan. I would hate to be this person right here, like, trying to level while everyone is doing bullshit up here. Come on, then. Alright, where are we going? Alchemist Guild. Oh. Oh. I got rid of that. Scaring some poor sprout. Yeah. Panda camera downward, run around looking for destination spots. That went over my head. It do be right after patch day. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, right. Yep. I follow. So you want to be an alchemist. I realize I haven't done any of the crafting stuff in this game, and I hear it's actually super good. Like, super good. Probably should do that at some point. But from what I hear, also, it's also, like, a fair rabbit hole. So, like, helps you target things in, crowd if you pan down to them. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get you. Super good equals expensive. Oh, sorry, money. Yeah. Another one come to see the lad in silver armor? Master, oh, God. Demilio is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Mr. Delimo say? Tell me his exact words. For Alfino, this isn't... No. Let the chirurgeons do their work. But... Right. Forgive me. When we said our farewells to Arenvold, I was afraid that something like this might happen. But now that it has, all we can do is wait. Yep. I don't know, he's made of tougher stuff. I feel like he wouldn't be punked out by Ifrit Hey, $4, we didn't notice you were here.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light.
That's very true.
People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better, and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot be next.
Don't jinx it.
And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Stinium, one of the best characters. Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? We will. Wait, what do you mean three? Hello. Ah! The boy and the dragon gay. When you side-eye someone through your fringe.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
Probably just recounting what we specifically saw. Honestly, that's a really neat way of getting around the exposition, is showing the character something and then having it explained.
Now Ifrit, or Lunar Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
Because it kind of saves the explanation through everyone, and like you get to experience it firsthand, but the information is just communicated to the characters later on.
'Tis now all but certain
when
that
it needs
the
to.
towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within.
Yep, that's like the surface reading at least.
Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Is it in defiance?
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
Huh.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital.
Is that how they're gonna resummon Zodiac?
Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
Oh, that might have been how they got Bahamut, actually. I guess it depends on the scale of the thing.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
Yeah, like the reason I assume that the big tower is probably the one that summoned Bahamut is because we saw that the Oops all Lunar Primus. Oh dear. But yeah, like, if the tower and the amount of people that are in it are proportional to the power, then a tower the size of the thing that summoned Ifrit would not be enough to summon Bahamut. Presumably there is the big one in Garlemald they're talking about. Assuming it's not like one that's like half constructed or whatever, would have been the one to summon Bahamut. Can you tell me where they are, Your Grace? The Grand Companies, Your Grace? Is that wise? Luna Shinryu. Woof.
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause.
Xenos and Shinryu sure were linked, but the problem is that the thing that... I feel like if Xeno summoned Shinryu, though, it'd be like us summoning the Primals in Eden, where they're slightly altered. And it would still require a stupid amount of people and ether, because it was like the combined malice of the people who died at the wall and like whatever was left in the eyes of Nidhogg, which is no small amount of ether. Like a Garlean Empire, perhaps? Perhaps. I mean, it's certainly not impossible, but, like, the thing was that Shinryu wasn't called specifically. Shinryu was formed out of a vague desire to summon something which would necessitate that the like, even slight variations in the way that something was summoned tends to make the summon different, as we saw in Eden, as we've seen in the past, and as we've seen with the towers. So, like, Shinryu, you know.
It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
Oh, she said the thing.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Oh, I just realized this might actually be the end of this part of the MSQ. The only descriptor in the summoning was a calamity greater than the Black Worm itself. Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, too, that there's other factors as well, like, because people at the scene were invoking, Ralgar, too. Like, Ilberd specifically, like, the faith of everyone, like, the faith and devotion of everyone involved is kind of partially it, too. So even if you could replicate, like, Ilberd in Xenos, you still may not get the same result because of, the absence of people dying and praying for Ralgar to save them. Like, there's just a lot of, like, really small factors about that specific situation that, would create a lot of variance in a resummoning of Shinryu. Right then, unless anyone has any objections, it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. And that includes you, Alphino. Arenvald is in good hands here. Of course. You would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength and readiness for the upcoming, for the coming challenges. If all are in agreement, then, I shall let Kryl know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. Oh no, if he's making this call in the scene, something's gonna go wrong, isn't it? It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Here's that personal development you wanted, Alizé. Yes, I'll try asking him. And thank you. I shall look forward to it. Sagely thinking, perhaps. Of course. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryl in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinian, believe it or not. You will join us, won't you? Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding the Baldessian woman. If I refused, she would only pursue me. That is true. Let's get this over with, shall we? No. Much to think about. No. God damn it. Use it cut off quick there. Jesus.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time. Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophroi stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Man, we are really moving to solve a lot of plot, or like addressing a lot of plot lines and details in this like next expansion.
Oh, I well remember what they're like.
And patch.
The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
Hell yeah, Kryl.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
Go on.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
ARR? Okay. Like, we've talked to Minfilia. I think Minfilia's been the only interaction we've had with Hydaelyn. Like, even indirectly. yeah, like... I think not since the little bit after Ultima? It's like, there's nothing in Shadowbringers. I'm pretty sure there was nothing in Stormblood. There was the bit where we were transported to Hydaelyn's realm by Urianger, but I presume that entire talk was actually with Minfilia, not with Hydaelyn, which at the time was kind of in question as to whether there's a difference between the two. She does speak to you after you reassemble the crystals in HW. So maybe Heavensward is the last one then. Yeah, like at the moment, Heavensward is the one that's like I'm the least familiar with. So I would say then. That day in the Crystarium? Oh, that's right. When the star shower happened, we heard her voice again. That was why we were like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And that's why it evoked a lot of the... But was that to you directly? No, it would have been the end of the Dragon Song War. No, you're right.
You regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the First, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
Yeah, because it was explained later on that the thing we heard, the hear, feel, think, was the, was basically what Hydaelyn is always speaking to all of creation, to any who hear the message or see the recreation of the end times.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Well, I mean, if we go by the Ascians, she's incredibly weak right now.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in his judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own. And as far as I'm able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reem. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Yeah, at that point, Minfilia was, pirate radio broadcast, yeah, pretty much. At that point, she was actually detached from Hydaelyn, so...
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now, of all times.
Oh boy, he's gonna get permanently roped in. Here we go.
Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part. Yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again. Will you join us?
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo. You inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
He said the P word. Go get him, Kryle. Estinian is probably the next strongest person in the universe. It's behind the Warrior of Light and Xenos. I wonder where Gaius falls along that, measure. He's trying so many weapons!
Well, does this one meet with your approval?
I actually recognized a couple of those. I'm assuming they're just pulling, like, weapons from, like, other places in the game. As an aside, pretty sure that the largest city they talked about but didn't show for Endwalker is Sharlayan. I was going to ask if, Sharlayan shared a continent with Radzat Han, because that definitely seems like some place we'd go, considering Kryle's going there now.
Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Rasathan Thabnir is an island? I didn't know if Sharlayan, like, shared, like, a landmass with them, basically. Or if it was close.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance.
So that's how you summon Bahamut.
seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
The you-know-what?
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
None. Fucking shut up.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Well, not quite what I was expecting. Though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Fuck you. Let us see it. Fuck. Damn it! That's bullshit. That did sound like a big, long blade, though. Fun fact, that was an empty animation. You didn't pick up anything to keep people from seeing anything, and if they could free move the camera. Oh, yeah. Like, the way they framed it like that, they could absolutely just completely remove it and make sure people couldn't, like, data mine what it was. So they just give you the sound clip of whatever it is. I'm still thinking Scythe. Especially with, Fandaniel going, it is rather apt. Well, it looks like I'm going to have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thancred's got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do. But when it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Well, then you lot, more accurately. You won't catch me trading blows with a primal in the near future, but for every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, baths to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. Which is where I come in. And gladly, mind you. It's the least I can do to support the scions who risk life and limb, like poor Arenvald. I wish there was something we could do for him. We'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. It wouldn't do to have him come back to a complete shambles, now would it? But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. Yay, another to be continued. Alright. Not for naught. Given we saw something leaning against his throne in the Endwalker trailer, nobody does it better than us. Sad Ardbert and Co noises. Only a month until FanFest and we find out for sure. That is true. Does the FanFest happen before the next patch? Or the next, like, sub-patch comes out? I actually can't remember if there was a date tied to the second patch. So, okay.